I was sitting in my car the other day and I was thinking to myself that I had so much energy, so much um, gusto on my new plan. And I was thinking to myself about the plan and how I've lived my life over the last decade and a half. Every man should do a 5-year reevaluation. Every 5 years, step away from your life, away from your home, away from the noise, away from routine, and confront yourself with honesty. Because every 5 years, a man becomes someone new. And if he doesn't check in, he drifts. This episode is about that check in, that confrontation, that recalibration. This is the Anatomy of the King, and I'm your host, Raymond Charles. And today we're talking about the moment every man needs to schedule into his life, the 5-year Re-Eval. Let's unpack that. Most men don't fall off course in one big moment. They drift. A small compromise here, a habit that slips there, a relationship that dulls their edge, a job that becomes comfortable instead of challenging. 5 years is long enough for drift to turn into distance. Distance from your goals, from your identity, distance from the man you said you'd become. The 5-year reeval is how you catch that drift before it becomes a disappearance. And no, you cannot do this reeval at home. Home is full of reminders and distractions and obligations and noise. You need distance. You need unfamiliarity. You need a place where your mind can't autopilot. A cabin, a hotel, a quiet park, a long drive, a weekend alone. The departure is symbolic. It tells your mind that it is not a normal day. This is a reckoning. This is where you begin the process of steering your life. Now, when you sit down alone, the first thing you face is the mirror. And not the physical one, but the internal one. I need you to ask yourself, who am I becoming? Do I like the direction? Is this life mine or just familiar? Am I choosing this or tolerating it? What have I been avoiding? What have I been lying about? What have I been settling for? See, this is the part where your ego gets quiet and your truth gets loud. Most men never do this. Most men never ask themselves the questions that really matter. Most men never confront the man in the mirror until life forces them to. Kings do it voluntarily. Now, you audit your life like a business. 1, it's the identity audit. Who are you right now? Not who you were 5 years ago. Not who people think you are. Not who you pretend to be. Who are you today? The discipline audit. Are your habits building you or breaking you? Are you consistent or convenient? Are you living with standards or are you living with excuses? Then you move on to the relationship audit. One of my favorite audits. Now, when I say relationship audit, I didn't say if it was romantic or otherwise, because a relationship is more than just romantic. So you have to step back and ask yourself, who adds to your life? And if you're going to ask yourself that, you need to ask yourself who drains it, who challenges you, who distracts you. Now, here's a big one. Who deserves access? And you have to be honest with that question. You might not like the answer because the answer could be someone that you truly feel that you love. And that answer is probably going to be the answer. No, let me take that back. The answer to that question is going to be the definite, the absolute answer to the next one. You need to ask yourself, who do you distance yourself from? I don't think I have to do too much more on that. I'm going to just let that sit there. And we'll just move on to 4, the financial audit. The conversation everybody loves. Are you building wealth or maintaining survival? Are you investing or are you consuming? At what levels are you investing and consuming? And are you planning or reacting? Then we need to move on to 5, the physical audit. Is your body a tool or a liability? Are you stronger than you were 5 years ago? Are you healthier? Are you disciplined? 6, the purpose audit. Are you living intentionally or accidentally? Are you chasing something or just moving? Are you aligned or drifting? Each category gets a score. Each score gets a decision. Each decision gets a plan. This is how you take control of who you are. Now, when you finally finish the audit, and if you were truthful, you'll see the things you don't like. And that's good. If you were truthful, then there was things that you didn't like, and you see that, and that is a good thing. That is the point. Now, you have 2 options. Option 1, change it. If something is misaligned, broken, weak, or stagnant, change it. Not tomorrow, not next year, not Monday, not when life slows down. Change it now. Change it deliberately. Change it aggressively. Or you can choose option 2. Choose it. I mean, that's the option. It kind of ran together with the introductory of it, but that's the option. Choose it. If something is part of your life and you're keeping it, choose it. Don't tolerate it. Don't complain about it. Don't resent it. Choose it fully. Own it fully. Stand on it fully. A man who chooses his life doesn't feel trapped by it. If you choose it, you can't say that you are trapped by it. This is where you decide your next 5 years. I had heard this story somewhere. I don't know where I heard it at, but it kind of relates to this. So there was this man, he kept saying he'd fix his habits next month. He kept saying he'd leave his job when things calm down. He kept saying he'd get in shape when life gets easier. He kept saying he'd work on his purpose when he had time. 5 years passed. Then 10. Then 15. One day he woke up and realized he didn't recognize his life. He didn't recognize his body. He didn't recognize his dreams. He didn't recognize himself. He didn't just drift. He disappeared. All because he never stopped long enough to confront himself. Don't be that mad. When you finish your re-eval, you sit at your king's table. You know, we all have a place where we make decisions. Write it down. What stays? What goes? What changes? What begins? What ends? What you commit to? What you refuse to tolerate? Who you are becoming? Who you will no longer be? This becomes your 5-year blueprint. Not a wish list, not a dream board, a contract. A contract with yourself. Now, if you sign your contract, when you return home, you're not the same man. You're sharper, clearer, more intentional, more aligned. People will notice, and your energy will shift. Your standards will rise. Your discipline will tighten. This is the power of stepping away. You come back with authority. Kings, every man listening to this needs to schedule his 5-year re-eval. Not someday, not when life slows down, and not when things get better. Put it on the calendar. Book the room, plan the drive, make the space. Your future self is begging you to do this. Because the man you'll be 5 years from now depends on the decisions you make today. So every 5 years, sit down away from home, away from noise, away from the norm, reevaluate your life and where it's headed. Take control of who you are. And if you don't like it, change it. Or choose it. This is the anatomy of the king. And this is how men build lives they can stand on. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.